Okay, hi everyone. This is Monica. I want to welcome you all on today's webinar about business trips. I don't know if we have met before. Those of you who have been to my webinars before, you can tell me hi in the question box. I had the webinar about cooking this year, and last year it was about also welcoming visitors to your company. So I don't know if anyone has been there, then it's perfect. Okay. Anyways, could you please write okay just quickly if you can hear me well, just to make sure before we start. Okay, I have millions of answers. That's perfect. Okay, you're so fast. You just type so fast. Okay, I have millions of answers. I can see that you can hear me very, very clearly. So let's start. First of all, I want to tell you what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about business trips in general, trips as well, not only business trips, but trips and traveling. Now, before we start, I want to ask you how many of you actually have business trips abroad? How many of you actually has business trips abroad? Okay, there are a few people. How many of you actually think that you might have a business trip abroad in the near future? Okay, we have Daniel who said that, yeah, he's going to have some trips abroad. Okay, there are so many answers, the positive answers, so I think you are in the right place. What we're going to do today are the following things. We're going to start with booking. Then we're going to talk about booking trip, booking basically the trip, the hotel, also the plane. We're also going to talk about what to do and what we don't do or what we might expect on board, of course, when it comes to the English. Then we're going to talk about arriving, so coming to the hotel, also renting a car, which is also a very common practice. Then a few words about hotel and hotel amenities and everything that is connected with the hotel. And then finally, we're going to move on to problems. Problems which you can encounter in all sorts of traveling experiences, on the plane, in the hotel, when renting a car, and so on. If you have any questions during the webinar, please write the question in the chat, in the question box. Okay, I'm going to try to answer those questions while I'm presenting. Okay, now today I really want you to be active and very creative because I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. So let's start. Okay, now today our business trip is going to be to Las Vegas. Have you ever been to Las Vegas? Anyone? Yeah, some of you yes, some of you no. Okay, perfect. Today we're going to Las Vegas with Anna, who you've probably met, and with George, who you probably know too. So Anna and George are going with us to Las Vegas. All right, so I'm really excited to go there. So let's start with what we have to do before we even start. We have to book everything. Of course, you might be using Polish websites, but sometimes a better offer is on the English website. That's why we're going to go through the whole process of booking. Now, how do you book your trip? What do you usually use? This is a question to you. Do you use the travel agents or online, or you have your own secretary who does that for you? How do you usually do that? Online, some of you said online. Internet, online. Anyone has the secretary who can do that? Or, you have foreign departments. That's cool. Okay, so you don't have to do it. Internet. Yeah, okay. You don't have the secretary yet. I like the answer. Okay. Okay, so you might do it through a travel agent online. Maybe your secretary is going to help you, or maybe some other option. Now, where do you usually book your trip? There are millions of websites and millions of different online travel agents and so on. I really want to know where you usually do it. Okay, this is also some kind of a exchange of information between you. You can't see each other answers, but I'm going to tell you what people say. So some people say it's eSky, Booking.com. Okay. All right. We have Flippo. Okay. All right, so we have actually different answers. Fru.pl. I don't know this one. Okay. Okay, seriously, I'm going to learn something from you today. Okay, good. Okay, I put a few names like booking.com, Trivago, Polish, English. This is what I told you about Polish, English, because sometimes, as I said, the English websites have actually a better offer. That's why today we're going to be using the website which is expedia.com. There's also the German version, expedia.de, where you have sometimes quite good offers compared to the Polish websites. That's why English is so important, because we have to know how to do it in English too, to pay less. Okay, so let's start. What you see now on the screen is the expedia.com website, where I tried to search for a flight and some other options. Now, every time I show you a part of a website, please ask me questions if you have any. Okay, this is really important because I want you to follow what we're doing while I'm speaking. Okay, so that you can follow everything. Okay, take a look at this. Take a look at this picture. So on the left we have flight. I don't know if you can see the mouse moving. Can you see the mouse when I'm moving it? Just making sure. Can you see this? Oh, yes, you can. Perfect. Okay. So we have the flights, the hotels, the bundle deals. What can be a bundle deal? We're going to talk about it in a second. Okay. We have cars, cruises. Now, what is a cruise? Do you know what a cruise is? This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Yeah, exactly. It's on the boat. It's like a ship. Yeah. So you book a trip by ship. Yeah. So these are cruises. Then we have things to do, vacation rentals, and so on. Okay, all right, good. The next one over here is a rental. What can be the rental? What do you think? This is a number. You have vacation rentals. What can be the rentals? If you have any ideas, put it in the... Yeah, to rent, of course, is to rent a car, for example. Yeah, okay, Małgosia is right. These are like flats or houses. That's it. Yeah, so there's a question from Marcin if you want to say in Polish or Polish? In Polish? Yeah, if you can, if you want, you can ask me questions in Polish or in English. It doesn't matter, okay? If I ask you a question, you can also answer them in Polish or in English, but preferably in English because that's why we are here. So I hope it answers your question. Okay, so we have the rentals. Another one is a bundle trip. What can be a bundle trip? Bundle deal, actually, what we have here. What can be a bundle deal? What do you think? Yeah, 2 in 1. Małgosia is right. So it's like 2 in 1. So it means like what? For example, yeah, like accommodation in the car and a flight. That's it. Yeah, very well done. That's exactly it. We can also have deals. And what can be those deals in the category deals? I think we have them at they're somewhere on the screen right now. So deals, yeah, like a good price. Exactly. Now, if you take a look at the screen right now, you're going to see the vacation packages. Vacation package is exactly this bundle trip. So you have 2 or 3 in 1. Right now you have the screenshot from the expedia.com when it comes to vacation package. Vacation package, this is exactly the same with a bundle deal, as you can see at the very top. So you might combine flight and hotel, flight, hotel, and car, flight and car, or hotel and car. Okay, so there you go. If you're looking for some combination of good of the plane, car, and so on, this is what it's called, bundle deal or package. Now, of course, the topic today is the business trip, but of course we travel alone or with our families also during vacation. If you travel with kids and if your kids are very small, I wanted to show you one more thing. This is at the very bottom over here. So the number of passengers, that means we have adults, children, the children under 1 and children above 2, over 2. Now there is a sentence here that the children must either sit in laps or in seats. Okay? They can ask you on the website whether you want to take your child in lap or in seat, as you can see over here at the very bottom. In lap, this is what you see on in the picture on the right. So what does it mean, in lap or in seat? Okay, who has the right answer? In English or in Polish? Maybe in Polish it's going to be. Yeah, well, exactly. So they sit on your lap. Yeah, so in lap or in seat. They might ask you this question. Okay, very good. So we know how to get on the plane. What we have now on the screen is the next step when I start booking the actual flight. I'm sure you have seen this millions of times. However, you probably have seen this in Polish. So this is what it is. On the left, we have all the information given, so 1 stop, 2 stops, and so on. On the right, we have the information about the flight. What do you call this first hour over here? Do you know what you call it in English? So these 11:50? What is it? What do you call it in English? It's not arrival. Yes, it's departure time. Very good. Okay, this is departure time. And then 11:18, this is the time of arrival. Alina, very good. Okay, I have a lot of good answers. Very good. So this is departure and arrival time. Don't worry, we're going to have the vocabulary also on the next slide. Now, when you look at the screen, do you have any other questions about what is what and what is going on the screen? Because I selected some vocabulary for you, which I'm going to show you in a second. But I want you to take a look at this screen just for a few more seconds so that you know what we're talking about. It's clear. Some of you say it's clear, so let's move on. I did select some vocabulary for you. Now, I chose some of the pictures actually that you see. The first one, the first sentence from the previous slide was prices are round trip per person, but do not include baggage fees. What is a round trip? Round trip per person? What does it mean, a round trip? Yes, okay, we have 2, 3, 4, 5 good answers. Well done. Okay, this is exactly it. So you go there and come back. Okay, so it's a two-way trip. Yes, to go home and come back. Very good. I can see your creativity here. Very good. So you go there and come back. Now, the next sentence that was on the screen before, it was this picture that you see, the blue thing, the line, and so on. They gave the information that follow fares as prices fluctuate. What does this mean? What can this mean? And they show this picture. Yes, Małgosia, very good answer. So the prices can change. They fluctuate. Very good. I have a few more good answers. Exactly. So this is the information about the fares. So follow fares. So check the fares regularly to see if they change. Fluctuate, this can also be used by you in all kinds of presentations at work. Fluctuate, this is this moving up and down, up and down, up and down. This is fluctuate. Okay, and one last thing, which you already told me, round trip or one way. So you buy a one-way ticket or a round trip. There you go. Okay, well done. Now, I think we're ready to move on to a few problems that we might have on board. Now, I'm sure you have found yourself in a situation like this where you really couldn't eat or drink or do anything on the plane other than just sit. Now, there is a special word that you can use. The guy with red hair, what problem does he have? If he wants to talk to the flight attendant and report the problem, you can't kick out this person. Piotr said that we should kick out the person. Okay, we can't kick out someone out of a plane. It's impossible. Okay, yeah, we have a problem with a man in front of him. What is the problem? How would you describe the problem that this guy has on the left? Well, the fat guy, yes, he has a problem with weight, yes, but what kind of problem does this passenger behind him have? Okay, you give me a lot of information about this guy in the pink shirt, like what kind of problem he has. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, you give me a lot of digestion, yeah, Małgosia, this is a problem with digestion, definitely. Okay, problem with a neighbor, yes, too many, yes, Beata, very nice. Not enough space. Yeah, Michał said he wants to pee. I'm not sure he wants to pee. Okay, let's leave this question because you're getting really, really creative about this. Okay, we also have excessive snoring, Martin said. Good, maybe he snores. Now, what you call this is actually not enough leg room. Okay, so if you have this kind of problem and if you want to ask for help, you just have to say, please, could I ask for another seat? Because I don't have enough leg room. Okay, so this is leg room, the space in front of you. Okay, when we need a lot of leg room and when we are traveling with children, we should be careful about which seat we choose. On the screen right now, you can see the plane with all kinds of different seats. It's good to know what is what, because when you book the ticket or when you check in, you might want to ask for a very specific seat. So let's go through the list. So we have standard seats, which is obvious, 2x2 seats. These are the yellow ones. Okay, 2x2. Standard seats with a view, with a view, with a view. Okay, with a view, so probably you see more than others. Then we have seats with more legroom. These are the seats when you travel with children or when disabled, so with more legroom, or if you're very tall. And of course we have exit, shared screen, if it's this kind of a smaller plane. Now, what I want to tell you is that sometimes when you choose a ticket, they can ask you what kind of seat you want to have. The seat you see right now is when two people are sitting like this and they can hold their hands in a romantic way. What do you call this kind of seat? This is actually a very simple question that they ask you at the airport, but it's good to know it. It's good if you want to. It's good if you want. Very good. Okay, Mariusz, Ivona, very good answers. Okay, but we have only 2 good answers. This is a crucial question when you board on the plane. You want to ask for an aisle seat. If you are alone in the room, I really encourage you to repeat after me some of the words. Okay, this is a good practice for you as well. So it's an aisle seat. Okay, you can repeat on your own. If you don't want the aisle seat, but you want to see the views, you're going to see the screen right now. This is the beautiful view we have. And you might want to ask for what kind of seat is it? Okay, this is much easier, I guess. Well, Gosia has the right answer. I'm waiting for more. What kind of seat is it? A view, not really the view, but okay, I have a lot of good answers. Exactly, this is a window seat. Okay, so what you might want to ask for is a window seat. So at the check-in, they might ask you, do you want the aisle or the window seat? Now you know what you want to say. There you go. Okay, there is a really nice, it's not the best quality, but this is a really, really nice information about the airplane etiquette and how we actually see the seats on the plane. So look at this. The person in the middle gets both armrests. Armrest, this is the thing that you put your arm on. So this is here and here. So you have both armrests. Aisle guy gets legroom or bathroom access. So it's easy to go to the bathroom and you have a lot of legroom. Window guy gets the window and the place to rest his head. So don't be greedy. I think this is a really, really nice saying. Now my question to you is, which is your favorite seat on the plane? In the middle, the window seat, or the aisle seat? Which one do you usually book if you have a choice? Business class. Thank you, Anya. This is a really nice answer. I would also like to choose the business class. Okay, most of you actually choose the window seat. Okay, good. So statistically, the aisle seat is probably available. Okay, now once we arrive, we're going to move on to the hotel. So we take the taxi and we go to the hotel. We might choose the 5-star hotel, 5 billion star hotel. Why not? Okay, but this is what we have to do when booking the room in the hotel. Now what you see now on the screen is what? What is this? What kind of room is it? What do you call this kind of room? The one on the right. Yeah? Okay, you say double room, family room. We don't know if it's a family. Rather, it's a double room. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, most of you have the correct answer. So it's a traditional room, 2 double beds or like 1 double bed. Over here, I took it straight from the booking site where you also had the information about the view. So you have the ocean view or resort view. Resort view, that means that you see the rest of the hotel through your window. Now, this little thing, some of you told me, what is this this bed for children? What do you call it? Someone has already answered it. Yeah, it's good to know if you travel with kids, you don't ask for a small bed, you ask for an extra bed, which is called crib. And this is a standard way to call it. Okay, so you ask for the crib. Okay, now, once we get to the hotel room and we get to the hotel, we might have different options connected with reservation. Okay, so when we reserve the room, you might have the information which means non-refundable. What does it mean non-refundable? What do you think? You can ask me, give me answers in the question box. What does it mean if it's non-refundable? No money back, exactly. We have one good answer only. So non-refundable, this is a short information that they don't give you money back. Exactly. If you have a free parking, I think this is quite clear. If you have the free parking available, it means that you don't have to pay for it. Then we have free internet, which became a standard, I think. We have one more thing, which is no credit card fees. What does it mean? No credit card fees. Yes, exactly. We also have only one good answer. Exactly. There are no additional costs, so they don't give you, you don't have to pay extra for using the credit card. Yes, very good. Alina also gave this good answer. So this is additional cost if you have to. There is no additional cost for paying with the credit card. And there is also one more, which is free cancellation. This is what's in different room and different hotel, but you also can have information that it's a free cancellation until, for example, Tuesday, May 31st. Yeah, free cancellation. Yeah, if you know, yeah, it's exactly. So you can cancel it without paying, yeah, without any charge. Very good. Now, the standard double room is just standard. So let's take a look at some more sophisticated rooms. We can have a deluxe room, 2 double beds, and a pool view, which includes just 2 double beds, which is, I think, clear. If you have any questions over here, just stop and ask me, okay? You can also have the premium room with 2 double beds and a lake view. Okay, there you go. If you have any questions, please ask me, okay? Then you might have a junior suite, 1 king bed with sofa bed. Now, junior suite, what is a suite? Because this is a very, very, very popular word, but I'm not sure if everyone knows what it is. So what is a suite? It's a room. Yeah, exactly. Mariusz is right. There is one person that is right. It was Mariusz. Suite is exactly what you see in the picture on the right. This is a suite. So this is not just a room. It's like a room with a table and another room. So it's really, really big. It's like you see on this Las Vegas movies that, you know, the main character rents this beautiful suite at the very top floor. So this is it. This is exactly it. So it's a suite. There was a question if you have 2 double beds, it doesn't mean that you have 2 beds. Yes, that means that you have 2 beds. Okay, you can also have the luxury suite, 1 king bed with a sofa bed. So there you go. King bed would be just big. You can also have like traditional room with a king bed and a resort view. Again, we have this resort view. So we have 1 queen and the grand suite. It's just from some hotels. So you might, of course, have different versions in the hotel you're booking, but this is a nice selection of rooms. And you can also have deluxe room, 1 king bed with the pool view. There you go. Okay, if you have no questions here, do you or you don't? I don't think so. Okay, if there are no questions, I think we can move on. There is one more thing I would like you to do connected with the plane. So we're coming back to our plane just for a second, and we're going to come back to being on board. Okay, this is the kind of plane I would really like to travel with. So once again, when we are on board, who do you actually see? Who do you meet on board? What do you call this person? Yes, in Polish it comes from straight from stewardess and steward. Yes, but more often, very good answers I have. But more often you hear the word flight attendant. Flight attendant, it's like a stewardess, but they usually call them the flight attendant. Of course, steward or stewardess is also possible, but the flight attendant is something you would rather see and hear. We're going to move on now to a few more problems on board and asking for help. Now, as you can see, this guy is not asking for help. He's asking for a Coke. But you might have serious problems on the plane. When you're in stress, when you're traveling, you might not know how to do this in English. So let's be prepared. Now, first of all, the most common problems people have on the left, they can have problems with their legs. If you have this kind of problems and if you have experienced them, it's good to know how to react, what to do. I gave you some information in English to know how to call it. Okay, so this is the blood circulation. So the blood in your legs is very slow. Yeah, so the legs can swell, so they can get bigger and produce a clot in the vein. This is complicated medical English, but why not? It's good to know. And this is called thrombophlebitis, which you don't have to know, but they also call it traveler's thrombosis, and this is the one I would like you to remember. This is a very common problem on the planes, so it's good to be prepared. Also, if you can't breathe, you ask for, what do you ask for if you can't breathe? If you have problems with breathing, what can you ask for? Very good, Małgosia. Exactly. You ask for oxygen mask or supplementary oxygen. This is what you have to ask for. Exactly. All right. A few more problems, maybe. If you have any allergy, and a lot of people now have allergies, it's good to inform the staff on the plane. All right. So if you have any medical problems or allergies, please check those words in a dictionary before you leave. Okay? It might help you or it might save your life. Now, one of the most common problems, I don't know if you have it, but some people do. There are health problems connected with air sickness or flight sickness. Air sickness, can you guess what it is? If you have air sickness or flight sickness, you do what? Yes, exactly. You feel nauseous. Exactly. You feel like, yes, you feel like throwing up. This is sometimes also called motion sickness. Motion sickness. This is exactly the same. Małgosia said that you feel dizzy. Yes, you feel dizzy, but then you throw up, so it's kind of serious. Now, when you have motion sickness, what do you ask for? What do you ask for? Sometimes you have it in front of you, a paper bag. Good. What do you call this bag? Okay, this bag is called air sickness bag. Now, I don't know if you have seen the film with Mr. Bean and him playing with the air sickness bag, but if you haven't, watch this. All right, so this is the homework for you. Watch the film about traveling with Mr. Bean. Okay, you can't really see his other hand, but he actually exploded the bag, which was full. Okay, so air sickness bag, if you're ever in need, this is what you have to do. Now, if you, of course, have any allergies or you don't like something, of course, you have a choice to actually choose what you like. All right. Now, the next thing I want us to do is something very common and which you always hear, but I want us to check if you can actually understand what's going on the plane. Okay, what's going on the plane. Now, we're going to go through some very simple messages that they give you on the plane. Now you're going to have them written. Sometimes it's very difficult to understand them because very often the flight attendants are not English, so they speak with a different accent and so on. Not always you travel with the Polish crew, so this is why it's good to know the basic information and the basic vocabulary connected with the plane. Okay, let me read you this information. When I read this, please note down on a piece of paper any questions you have or any problematic things. If you don't want to write down, just listen and make sure you understand. So ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you haven't already done so, please stow your carry-on luggage underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt, and also make sure your seat back and folding trays are in their full upright position. If you're seated next to emergency exit, please read carefully the special instruction care located by your seat. If you do not wish to perform the functions described in the event of an emergency, please ask the flight attendant to reseat you. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, so smoking is prohibited on the entire aircraft, including the lavatories. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the lavatory smoke detectors is prohibited by law. If you have any questions about the flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight attendants. Thank you. Okay, so I was the flight attendant now. What a nice profession. You just read this and that's it. Okay. Well, now I prepared some vocabulary for you. Do you have any questions for now about the text? Is there anything that you don't know, don't understand? You have a question from Tomek about this tempering and destroying. All these verbs are connected with just destroying these smoke detectors. Yeah. Folding trays, I'm going to ask you this, I'm going to show you this in a second. Stow. There is a question about the word stow. It was about stowing the folding trays. Stow your carry-on luggage underneath your seat. Stow, so place, put. Yeah, so to put your carry-on luggage underneath your seat, so under your seat. Carry-on luggage, there is a question about carry-on luggage, so I think we can move on to the next slide where I prepared you some vocabulary. Now, what is this bag? What do you call this small bag which you can take on the plane? Exactly. This is not even luggage, but this is carry-on luggage. Yeah, so I'm answering now Marcin's question. So the small bag you can have is the carry-on luggage, okay, or the hand luggage, yeah. Oh, sorry, I gave you the answer. Okay, okay, in the next picture below the bag, you can see this thing where you can eat and drink, and you call it? Okay, you call it a folding tray. So this is a tray because you can fold it, so it's called a folding tray. The next one is the symbol you probably have read millions of times when you were on the plane, and this is the fasten seatbelt sign. The next one is actually that you have your seat. This is the picture on the over here. I'm showing it to you right now. So on the left we have the seats in a very specific position. So you can't have it folded back, but it has to be in the upright. Very good, Tomek. So it's an upright position. That's it. And the last thing, most important, I think, because people usually ignore it, this is this big, big box that you have over your head. What do you call it? Do you remember? You actually hear it. Yeah, it can be a bin. Very good. It's a special kind of bin. You call it an overhead bin, or you might also call it, you might hear it, overhead compartment. Exactly, Jacek got it right, exactly. I guess you travel a lot because usually they actually say overhead compartment. That's it. Okay, if you don't understand a few more things, I'm going to read one more thing connected with the plane. Okay, so let's read it and let's ask. I'm going to ask you for your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move around the cabin. However, we always recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated. In a few moments, the flight attendants will be passing around the cabin to offer you hot or cold drinks, as well as breakfast, dinner, supper, whatever. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge with their compliments. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you. Did you have any problems with this one? Or I think it's kind of easy. So there is a charge. There's a question about the charge. You have the charge, so probably there is some kind of a leaflet given to you that where you have the prices for certain things, for drinks and food and so on. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is something really scary for most of us. These are the turbulence. So this is what you're going to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We are now crossing a zone of turbulence. Please return to your seats and keep your seatbelts fastened. Thank you. Okay, are you afraid of turbulence or not? No, we have a really brave group. Okay, no one is afraid of turbulence. Well, good for you. Now, let's come back to the more practical stuff. This is where you have to go. What do you call it on the plane? Do you remember? You have already seen it today. Very good, Anya, good answer. I'm waiting for more good answers. Very good. Okay, we have Jacek and Piotr. You have correct answers too, and Mariusz too, and Daniel. Okay, well done. Okay, that's exactly it. So usually you call it a lavatory. So can I use the lavatory? Then you might also want to ask for water. This is for those of you who are at the beginning of their education in English. How would you ask for a glass of water on the plane? Okay, very good answers. Yeah, so can I have some water, please? Okay, and the last thing, when you have a problem with someone sitting next to you, you might want to ask for, could I switch seats, please? Okay, that's it. Now, finally, we landed. So we are happy, all healthy, and we are fine. Now, we have already visited a hotel, but we also want to rent a car. Have you ever rented a car somewhere in the world? No, yes, we have different answers. Yeah, okay, in Spain. Okay, good. All right, usually it is in English. Even if it's not in English, people usually speak English, the ones that rent it. So I selected for you some of the basic information, again, from some car rental website, so that you can see the types of cars. Again, if you do it from Poland, yes. If you do it on an English website, yes, you're going to need English for that. Now, of course, the types of cars you can guess. So you have economy, compact, mid-size, like a middle car. You also have an example, so it's easier. You have standard, full-size, premium, luxury, mid-size SUV, standard SUV, minivan, or mid-size van. You have, as you can see, like at least 10 different kinds of cars. So, of course, choose the ones you actually need. Sorry for the slide mix-up. Okay. Now, when you take the car, what do you call it? So the moment, the place where you actually take the car, you have this word on the website. So please take a look at the website that you see in front of you and tell me, what do you call the location when you take the car? Very good. Okay. You read the website very carefully. Exactly. This is called a pickup. So you pick up the car. So this is the pickup place. Then you, when you finish your trip, you have to do what? You return it. Yeah, actually, I have a lot of good answers, also the ones that are not here. So you return or you drop off. Yeah, so you drop off the car somewhere. So not drop up, as someone said, but drop off. You can also give back the car. Mario said it, but it's also a good answer. Why not? Remember that they want to ask you about the insurance. And when we get to the insurance, I want to ask you, I want to show you some additional information you might find on the website when you travel and when you rent a car. You may also experience some additional fees. Additional fees, that means any additional money. So more money than you actually see on the website, for example. If you have any questions, remember, ask me. You can also pay the state tax, which is not included in the price. There may be also some other mandatory charges. Mandatory charges? What does it mean, this mandatory charges? What kind of charges are they? Tomasz, very good. Obowiązkowe. Exactly. So you have to, they're necessary. You have to pay them. Sorry. You might also have the rental tax, which is not included, obviously. And you might also have to pay additional insurance if you're, for example, in the mountains. Now, we're going to finally move on to the questions. Or if you're not old enough, exactly, Małgosia, if you're not like 25, probably you're going to have to pay more. So the questions asked at the airport, I'm going to show you some lists. I'm going to read them to you. Please ask me if you have any questions. Be careful, remember them, because at the end today, I'm going to ask you to tell me some of those questions, okay? So be very, very careful now. And ask me questions if it's not clear. The first one, are there any direct flights to Dallas? How much do I have to pay for the extra bag? Where is the lost and found office? Where is the ticket office? How long is the delay? Okay, more questions. Has the flight been cancelled? When does the flight to Bangkok leave? If you can repeat after me just to practice pronunciation. Is this the departures area? Is this the arrivals area? Did you have any questions to this page? Okay, I can see no questions. Okay, so let's move on. There is one more. Where are the lockers? And how much does a locker cost? The lockers, there's a question about lockers. If you, for example, want to leave your luggage at the airport because you want to go to the city, for example, sightseeing, you might want to rent a locker. This is a small metal box with a key. where you can lock your bag or your belongings. Very good. Mariusz said skrytka. Basically, yes. So it's a kind of a... Children also have it at schools in America, for example. In some Polish schools too. These are the lockers. Yeah. Okay. Then we have where are the luggage carousels? This is the luggage carousel is the song. This is where you collect your luggage. Yeah, this is where you collect your luggage. Oh, Piotr is giving me some songs. Okay. All right, good. All right, exactly. This is like a belt. Anna is right. So this is where you collect the luggage. Then is this the gate for flight 234 to Madrid? And how much carry-on luggage am I allowed? Do you have any questions to this page? I guess not. I can see no questions. So now we're going to move on to the last thing about traveling, which is the travel itinerary. This is what you can get from your company when you travel. You can get it on the website when you book your hotel, car, plane, everything. You get the travel itinerary. This is a difficult word for us because it's completely different. It's not like a travel plan, but it's travel itinerary. But trust me, this is a normal word and everyone uses it. Basically, the travel itinerary is exactly what you see on the screen. So this is like a plan of your trip, like departing, car rental, where you're staying. You can also have like meetings and events if it's organized by a company. You can also have the details about the returning flight. And this is called itinerary. Yeah, it's like detail of your trip and the plan. Basically, it's like a plan, right? But it's a funny word in English because it's different. It's not plan, it's itinerary. So don't be afraid. It's called itinerary. Okay, so we are going with Anna and George to some trade fair in Las Vegas. Before we do anything, we might want to check into our hotel first. Now, when we get to the hotel, again, we might have a lot of problems. The first problem is they want too much money from you. So you booked a room, but they don't give you the price that you expected. They give you more. What do you call this kind of problem? It's called overcharging. Payment problem would be that if you have a problem with payment. But overcharging, it means that the hotel is charging too much. You can say, excuse me, I'm afraid there is a mistake in my bill. Could you please check it for me? The next problem is that you are in the room and this nice guy comes into the room and takes something from your room. What do you call it? How do you describe the problem and how do you react? Stolen, so something is stolen. Any ideas for your reaction? How can you react? Theft, Piotr, very good. Exactly. It's a theft. So it's a theft of belongings. This is what you would call it. And the best thing you can do is just, I'd like to report a theft. Someone stole my earrings from the room, for example. Then you have a problem with cleanliness of your hotel. What do you say? Yeah, there's a mess. You can say there is a mess. You can just say that it's a dirty room. Okay, so of course this is a messy room, but in the hotel you would say that it's a dirty room and you can say, could you please send someone to my room to clean the bathroom and floor? The tub is dirty and molded and the floor is all sticky. Okay, that's it. So you might have problems with the room. Once again, if you have this kind of problem, what is it? It sometimes happens in some exotic countries, not only. What do you call it? Stinky. Yes, it stinks. Well, it smells, you can say, yes. Officially, it's called unpleasant odors. Yeah. Or an awful smell. Very nice. You can survive. I can see Jacek, Monica, you're saying like it's an awful smell. I'd like to change the room because there is a very unpleasant odor in my room. Okay, this is something you might experience as well, unfortunately. What do you call it officially? Bugs, yes. Insect. Yes, what can you do with a room? Cockroaches, very good, Yannick. This is a cockroach. What a disgusting thing. Officially, it's called infestation. It means that the room is infested with insects or rodents, so like mice or rats. Commonly roaches. I'm sorry. or bed bugs. I'm very sorry. Take a look at the sentence, how you can react. Okay. The next problem is with the toilet. For example, so if something is broken in the room, you can ask someone to send someone from the hotel maintenance department because, for example, you can't flush the toilet. You can't flush the toilet. Thank you, Michal, for your idea about the problem. Yes, something can happen with your toilet too. Okay. Now, when you travel, you might also have some other problems with like losing passport. Do you have any ideas for how to deal with the problem like how to deal with the problem when you lose a passport? Do you have your own ideas? What you do? Because I'd like you to exchange ideas as well. Okay, you have to report because now I'm reading your answer. So you report to the police. You need to have a copy. Yes, this is a very good one. So always have a copy of your passport. Report to the embassy. Yeah, report to the police. Exactly. You miss your flight. Well, this is just, it can happen. So you miss a flight. I don't think you can buy a passport on the street, but okay, it depends where you go, I guess. Okay, you can have a lost luggage, so then you have to go and report a lost luggage. You might have an illness or injury on the road, and this is where we're getting. What do you call if you have this very common illness, which is shown in the picture? This is something that can happen you on when you travel, on the plane, in a hotel, anywhere, on your vacation. Very good. This is the most common thing. It's a headache. If you go to if you go to exotic countries, you might need this or any other medication. Digestion problems, this is very, very light. If you go to the pharmacy, we have to ask for a very specific medication. So what do you call it? What do you call this problem with your stomach? Zemsta faraona, yes, but I don't think they're going to understand it in England or somewhere. Yes, okay, Janek and Piotr, yes, it's called the diarrhea. I'm sorry, we have to have such topics too, but this is very, very realistic when we go to a foreign country, when we go to a different country. Very good. Yes. So this is called the diarrhea. Okay. Now, when you have the opposite, so you have problems with your stomach and it hurts and you take some medication like this, so then you have to, what do you call, when you go to the pharmacy, you ask for something for stomachache, yes, but stomachache can have different kinds of ideas. So this is the opposite of diarrhea. The opposite of diarrhea is constipation. Some people have it when they travel, so it's good to know it, how you like what you call it in English. So it's a constipation. This is the opposite of diarrhea. Then you have something very common. So you just have a running nose and you have problems with your throat. It's a cold or a flu. Flu is more serious. Cold is just a cold. Flu is serious. Then you can have this, which is very unpleasant, but can happen. Toothache, very good. It's a toothache. And this is something some of you were telling me at the beginning. So you go to a foreign country, you eat some strange food, and then you have problems, general problems with your stomach, with vomiting or something. It's a stomach ache, but it's a very special kind of problem. It's called a food poisoning. Okay? Many of you say digestion. Pamiętajmy, że digestion to jest tylko trawienie. W trawieniu nie ma nic złego. When you have food poisoning, then it's a problem with digestion. Okay? If you have diarrhea, it's a problem with digestion. So digestion is a very okay word. It's not an illness. Digestion is just your process in your stomach. That's it. So food poisoning. We have food poisoning. We have one more, which is when you have it, it's a fever. Very good. Oh, sorry. You have a high fever, for example. And the last one, you break your arm. And when you break your arm, you get a plaster. Okay, so when you break your arm, you get a plaster. Please don't mix this plaster that this man has on his arm with the Band-Aid that you have on the right. Band-Aid, it's called Band-Aid and not a plaster. Yeah, so plaster is what you have here. Band-Aid is something very different. Okay, so we have the health problems. Now, the last thing I want to show you today is actually the thing connected with having problems with the police. I know, I hope no one has it, and I hope you don't never experience this, but if you go to the, yes, Ivona is asking, plaster to jest gips. So plaster to jest nasz gips. So this is a problem that can happen. So we're in Las Vegas, something happens to us, we are arrested, or our friend is arrested, we have to go to the police station. So how to survive? First of all, always check the emergency numbers when you go to some country. Okay, so whether you're in Europe or in America or in anywhere else, please check the emergency numbers around the world before you travel. Then I prepared some of the words connected with crime and police that you might want to know. So the guys on the left, what do you call the guys on the left? What do they have? Okay, very good answers. They are dangerous. Yes. Okay, they are dangerous, so they are armed and dangerous. So this can happen actually that you met someone or you are attacked in a city, for example, of Las Vegas, which can happen, and you say that someone attacked me, someone that was armed and dangerous. If someone broke into your house, it's a burglar. Okay, if someone broke into your house, it's a burglar. The guy on the left is a policeman or, yeah, very good, it's a cop. I have a lot of good answers, but be careful with the spelling. So it's not a cap, it's not a cup, but it's a cup. It's a O, C-O-P. On the right, we have the criminal record, so the history of someone's being bad. Okay. Now, the next one is, oh, sorry, when you drive and when you drink, which is really bad. This crime is called DUI, which is driving under influence, or driving while intoxicated. So, for example, if you were someone, I hope you never do this, but if someone does that, this is what people can get arrested for. The crime scene is more serious. I hope you never seen a crime scene, but this is it. So a crime scene. If you are involved in any legal situation, then there are fingerprints, which are on the right, and a fine, which is on the left. So if you do something bad, you have to pay. So you have to pay a fine. Okay, grzywne, karę. Someone says, Evelina, yeah, DWY, yeah, it can be after drugs that you are intoxicated, but it's also about alcohol. On the left, we can see what? If you're arrested, if someone is arrested. I hope you're never arrested, okay, but if you see someone, it's a handcuffs, good. And on the right, this is something very, very common when you travel. What do you call this person when he takes your wallet from your bag? This is a special kind of crime. Very good, Piotrek. Piotr is right, pickpocket. So if you experience pickpocketing, you have to go to the police station and report, and this is pickpocketing. Okay, very well done. And the last one is on the left. What do you get if you drive too quickly? You drive too fast and you get, what do you get? Good, okay, you get a ticket. You get a speeding ticket. So you get a speeding ticket. And if it's really serious, you might have to be a witness in the case. All right. The very last one, which is more connected even with films that you watch, is someone is arrested and he can go out of the prison, but he has to pay a lot of money, and this is called bail. So we have an example. Your husband's bail is posted at $20,000, so he can pay and then he can leave the prison and promise to come back. All right. So finally, I think we're going to test what you've learned today. Let's go. These are the questions they can actually ask you at the airport or somewhere. So are you sick? Do you take any medication? And please check before you leave. So this is my last piece of advice for you. If you have any illnesses and you take any medication, please check them in English before you travel. Now, the last thing I want to ask you is, do you remember what you call the first guy here with the food? Do you remember what you call it? Very good. Alexandra was first. Congratulations. Okay. Alexandra was first. The second one, the guy with something on his nose. What do you call this problem? Odor. Yes, so unpleasant odor. Yes, or a smell. Yeah. Then we have problems with our stomach. So it's the opposite of diarrhea. Not a stomach ache, but the opposite of diarrhea. Not a diarrhea, opposite. Yeah, the opposite of constipation. Very good. Okay, this time Alexandra was first again. Congratulations, Ola. And then we have a problem with this little bug. It's a bug, okay, can be a bed bug. Infestation. Good. Beata is the winner. Congratulations. Okay, it's infestation. Then this guy, bad guy, but looks nice. Who is it? A thief. Very good. A burglar, actually. Okay, Ola. Well, actually, I think we have equal votes. And the last one is this thing at the very top of the plane. Overhead. Małgorzata won. Very good. Overhead bin and overhead compartment. Very good answers. Okay. Okay, I hope you've learned a lot. Okay. So my last question to you, it's going to be like a quiz. Only two sentences for you. The first one. Czy lot został odwołany? Okay, we'll see who goes first. Czy lot został odwołany? Very good. Tomek was first. Okay, congratulations, Tomek. This is good. And the last one, maybe, czy to jest strefa odlotów? Yes, okay, congratulations. This time it was Małgorzata. Congratulations, everyone. Okay, I have millions of good answers. I'm really happy to see that. I hope you enjoyed today's webinar, and I hope to see you soon on our next webinar. I'm gonna let Maciek tell you something it's gonna take just 1 minute, and then if you have any questions, please start writing them in the chat box, okay? I'm gonna be back in a second.
Dziękuję bardzo, Moniko. Dziękuję Państwu. Na sam koniec naszego spotkania możecie Państwo jeszcze zadawać pytania odnośnie tego webinarium. Nie tylko. Ja jeszcze tylko zaproszę Państwa na kolejne webinaria. Z języka rosyjskiego to będzie 23, natomiast z języka hiszpańskiego to będzie 31 maja, tak więc serdecznie zapraszamy. Niedługo wyślemy do Państwa link z nagraniem tego właśnie webinarium, które przed chwilą Państwo usłyszeli. Będzie również taki krótki PDF ze słownictwem. Widzę, że nie pojawiają się pytania, więc będziemy pomału kończyć. Tak więc dziękuję Państwu jeszcze raz bardzo serdecznie za udział w tym spotkaniu i zapraszamy na kolejne webinaria.